Hello, ABIC community, and welcome. Thrilled to have the opportunity to be with you today. So thank you very much, ABIC, for having me. My name is Claire Crouch, and I'm the Global Education Manager for Synergie Skin. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to explore the use of evidence-based ingredients to support barrier repair. Now, we know that skin recovery following clinical treatments is crucial for optimizing results and ensuring long-term skin health. After controlled procedures like chemical peels, microneedling, or laser treatments, the skin undergoes a healing process that requires support to reduce irritation, inflammation, and potential damage. So using advanced ingredient technology within formulations can play a vital role in this recovery phase. The delivery of active ingredients effectively and deeply into the skin will help to accelerate healing, soothe inflammation, and restore the skin's natural barrier. So today we're going to be looking at some cutting-edge ingredients like hyaluronic acid, biomimetic ceramides, vitamins, and pre- and postbiotics that can work synergistically to accelerate cellular repair and optimize treatment results by enhancing hydration, reducing the signs of post-treatment discomfort, and ultimately ensuring a smoother, more radiant skin. So we're going to dive into the power behind evidence-based cosmeceuticals for skin and barrier recovery. And after this 30-minute presentation, we hope that you would have gained a good insight into how to positively impact the skin and support your clinical treatments by strengthening a compromised barrier function for superior skin results. So when researching skincare products, it's essential to carefully consider factors such as the dosage, the delivery system, and the supportive clinical data of key active ingredients. The dosage of an ingredient plays a critical role in its effectiveness. Too little, it's not going to produce a noticeable result, while too much could potentially irritate or damage the skin. The delivery is equally as important as it determines how effectively these ingredients penetrate the skin and reach their target cells, because ultimately this is what's going to create that physiological and visible improvement to the skin. And additionally, it's important to evaluate the supportive data and the clinical evidence backing that product's claims. Clinical studies, ingredient efficacy trials, or third-party testing all provide valuable insights into the real-world effectiveness and safety of a product and ingredient. So by prioritizing these factors, you can choose skincare products that not only feature high-quality ingredients, but also can ensure those optimal performance results. So we're going to explore some ingredients that fall under this criteria today, with a focus on the aiding of recovery of the skin and repair of the barrier function. And our first ingredient is one you've certainly heard of, I'm sure. It's a key ingredient for enhancing the barrier and overall skin hydration, and that is hyaluronic acid. So there are numerous hyaluronic acid-based products on the market, but not all hyaluronic acids are created equally. It's important to understand what makes various hyaluronic acids differently, how they impact the skin, and really debunk any marketing myths or highlight their impact on hydration and barrier defense. So on the slide here, you can see that there are three key types of hyaluronic acid we're going to be touching on today. And there's nothing wrong with any of these derivatives, just to say that from the get-go. There isn't anything wrong with any hyaluronic acid derivative used in skincare products, but what we're sharing today is that they're all different, and some of them are actually quite special. Now, hyaluronic acid derivatives vary according to their molecular weight, which is measured in kDa or kilodaltons. Hyaluronic acid or sodium hyaluronate molecules can be chopped up into smaller pieces that are hydrolyzed into lower molecular weight. And the physiological effects of hyaluronic acid will depend to a large degree on the size or the molecular weight of its chains. So the molecular weight will also indicate how deeply that hyaluronic acid molecule can penetrate into the dermis. So we want to have a look now at how hyaluronic acid can be loosely categorized. And you can see on the right-hand side of the slide there that high molecular weight hyaluronic acid has a molecular weight of over 1,000 kilodaltons. Medium to low molecular weight hyaluronic acid has less than 1,000 kilodaltons. And thirdly, you can see that ultra low molecular weight or microhyaluronic acid has less than 5 kilodaltons. So quite a difference in size there. But let's take a moment to review the benefits of each. So high molecular weight is the type of hyaluronic acid that offers immediate superficial hydration to provide visual effects to the skin very, very quickly. It is working on the uppermost layers of the epidermis and delivers short-term hydration and that surface plumpness that a lot of our patients or clients are looking for. It will bind and attract water to the skin, preventing transepidermal water loss, and temporarily will minimize surface lines while creating that real sort of cushiony feel to the skin. When we consider medium weight hyaluronic acid, this is going to be penetrating a little deeper into the granular layer of the epidermis, and it will provide a longer lasting moisturization. With the moisture being locked in on a deeper level, the medium molecular weight hyaluronic acid provides an enhanced reduction of fine lines, but it will also improve the texture of the skin. Another benefit of the medium molecular weight hyaluronic acid is it also can act to reduce the inflammatory pathway in the skin, which is a great benefit when we're looking at post-treatment recovery. And this third slide here is looking at micro or ultra low molecular weight hyaluronic acid. And this is going to be penetrating to the deepest level of the epidermis to promote hydration. It can exert a more significant impact on reducing cellular inflammation, and it works on multiple levels to reduce redness and irritation, along with increasing the water content within the skin. So microhyaluronic acid can significantly reduce the inflammatory pathway in the skin by regulating the release of inflammatory cytokines. And at the same time as this, it can support the wound healing process within the skin. Microhyaluronic acid acts as a protective transport vehicle, taking peptide growth factors and other structural proteins to a site of action. And it is then enzymatically degraded and active proteins are released to start to promote the tissue repair within the skin. It will also enhance barrier function and stimulate the epidermal immune function. When we look at immunity, microhyaluronic acid can promote the function of phagocytic cells and natural killer cells to destroy invaders. And it can also stimulate the migration of white blood cells to reduce inflammatory reactions in the skin as well. So when the skin cells are assaulted, they produce a large amount of free radical damage, and this can also trigger inflammation. And some new research has actually found that microhyaluronic acid can remove free radical ROS or reactive oxygen species while increasing the activity of antioxidant enzymes within the body. So a major benefit to microhyaluronic acid is its ability to reduce and protect against skin inflammation. This is indicated in an in vivo clinical study here. You can see that this is looking at the impact of microhyaluronic acid on irritated skin and redness. So here we're focusing on an evaluation of erythema, and I hope you can see that okay on your devices, but this particular study is using 30 subjects, and they were divided into two groups, and they used a microhyaluronic acid sample twice a day. So one group, which is the top four faces that you can see on the slide there, we have A1 and B1. A1 used a 0.1% of microhyaluronic acid, and B1 had the control, so no hyaluronic acid. And the second group, which are the bottom four faces, and the lower four faces there, A2 used a 0.5% hyaluronic acid, while B2 was the control, no hyaluronic acid. And high resolution photographs were taken with the Vizia before application, after 3 hours, after 6 hours, and 24 hours post application. And the result was a steady reduction in facial redness throughout that 24-hour test period. And the conclusion is that the higher concentration of microhyaluronic acid, the more significant the reduction in facial redness. So we can see that hyaluronic acid isn't just a humectant, but based on its molecular weight, can offer varying benefits to the skin, including increased barrier repair, the hydration, reduced inflammation, as well as immune and wound healing support. But here's the thing, it's not just about getting water into the skin, but it's about keeping it in the skin as well. And this is where formulations that utilize ceramides really come into play, because ceramides, as many of you would be aware, repair and strengthen our protective skin barrier, which is vital following many of our clinical treatments. Before we dive into the information about the benefits of ceramides for skin recovery, let's quickly mention the word biomimetic that you can see on the slide there. If the word biomimetic is new to you, it is describing a type of ingredient that will mimic what is naturally happening in the skin. So biomimetic also could be human identical or skin identical ceramides, which are readily received and used by the skin. When the goal is to repair the skin's barrier function, using a combination of biomimetic ceramides will help to create the maximum impact on the skin. Our barrier lipids are incredible oils produced within the skin, and they are primarily ceramides. In fact, ceramides naturally make up approximately 40 to 50% of the epidermal barrier lipids, or our lipid lamellae, that is present in the stratum corneum. They work with the corneocytes and the moisture content, which the ceramides will lock into the skin and provide a strong and healthy barrier. Reduced epidermal ceramides can lead to a variety of non-clinical and clinical conditions, flaky skin, a buildup of old cells on the surface, which can create that sort of rough or even a tight feeling on the skin, fine lines, dull-looking skin that's lacking in luminosity. And in addition, there may be an increase in sensitivity indicated by itching, tingling, stinging on the skin. And research also suggests that people who have eczema genetically have fewer ceramides in their skin. So adding ceramides to post-treatment skincare will help to maintain an effective barrier function and support the barrier function recovery as well. They will also help to soothe sensitized or irritated skin and provide additional barrier support, even for genetically sensitive skin as well. The timeline on this slide shows that there is a natural decline in ceramides as we age, and this can contribute to a general condition of the skin's barrier as well as its ability to recover. And, this is certainly worth noting when we're treating clients with our rejuvenation or pro-aging treatments, that they will have a slower barrier repair and potentially a slower wound healing. And other factors that contribute to the loss of ceramides in the skin would be an imbalance of the microbiome, UV light, blue light, free radicals, and general environmental pollutants. The good news is that ceramides can be replenished, and biomimetic ceramides, as we said, will blend perfectly with the natural skin lipids. So you'll see in this summary the mentioned benefits of ceramides for barrier repair. They're just listed on the slide there. But ultimately, they're essential for healing and supporting a post-care recovery of the skin. So we've looked at the importance of supporting healing and recovery of the skin. And next, we're just going to take a moment to look at inflammation of the skin following our clinical treatments. Now, this is a huge topic, which we could easily discuss all day, but we'll look at a quick overview today, including an introduction to a powerful new anti-inflammatory vitamin. Before we jump into this anti-inflammatory vitamin, let me ask you a question, and that is all inflammation bad? Because often inflammation is cast in a bit of a negative light, but it is essential, obviously, in small amounts for immune surveillance and defense. Of course, we want inflammation with some of our treatments. However, in the clinic, we are creating a controlled inflammation that can give our desired results on the skin. What we do want to obviously avoid is uncontrolled inflammation that can lead to challenges such as post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation and scarring, and of course, accelerated aging. So too little or too much inflammation can both pose problems. The most chronic diseases are actually thought to root in a low-grade inflammation that persists over time, and most skin conditions have an underlying inflammatory challenge. So often the goal with our skincare is to regulate the inflammatory process. So with inflammation being the body or the skin's rapid general response to any kind of insult or injury to living tissues, its purpose is to locate and eliminate any injurious agent and remove any damaged tissue components so that the body can begin to heal. And this can be in response to common injuries such as a burn or a bite, or for us, of course, the controlled inflammation that we're creating in a clinical treatment. So cells within the body and the skin, they actually release a variety of substances that can widen the blood vessels and make them more permeable. And this will allow those immune response cells and chemicals to reach the affected area more easily, and will also lead to all the symptoms associated with inflammation. And these are going to be different from person to person, but generally speaking, we're looking at redness, heat, swelling, sometimes a rash, which may depend on the cause of the inflammation. The skin may be smooth or scaly. The skin may be flat or raised, but this is where we look at the solution of anti-inflammatories. Now, there are a plethora of anti-inflammatory ingredients that work in different ways to target the inflammatory process or the arachidonic acid cascade at various stages. Colloidal oatmeal, licorice, aloe vera, chamomile, anti-inflammatory peptides. There's lots of cosmeceuticals out there which can help to regulate the inflammatory process. An exciting cosmeceutical that we're going to touch on today has shown exceptional results in the treatment of inflammation, and that is a vitamin B, but not vitamin B3, niacinamide, or vitamin B5, panthenol, but this is vitamin B12. A fairly new ingredient and quite a game changer in the regulation of inflammation for skin recovery. Vitamin B12 or cyanocobalamin is an ingredient which, as you can see from the slide, has a naturally vibrant pink color to it. And the intensity of that pink color would be determined by the concentration of the B12 ingredient. B12 targets inflammation and its associated symptoms on a number of different levels. And this ingredient helps to minimize itch, dry, red skin that's often associated with inflammation and dehydration of the skin, but particularly post-treatment. The B12 also has the added benefit of regenerating the skin and speeding recovery. So this naturally pink supervitamin will play a significant role in skin recovery and reducing the redness that patients are concerned about while assisting in the repair of the skin. Just got a little more data for you here, an in vivo study that uses the SCORAD index to show the results over a 12-week period. The SCORAD, if that's not something you're familiar with, is a clinical tool used to assess the extent and severity of eczema. SCORAD, so the score being the scoring and the ad being atopic dermatitis or skin inflammation. So all subjects in this study showed a significant reduction in all of their atopic dermatitis symptoms, including itching, swelling, dryness, and redness. And this elegant and active pink supervitamin will perfectly complement your other ingredients we've spoken about today, such as hyaluronic acids and ceramides, to really attain a very high level of barrier efficiency. And finally, we can't discuss the repair of a compromised skin barrier without looking at the use of topical prebiotics and postbiotics. Imagine a vibrant community teeming with trillions of tiny residents, collaborating and influencing your skin's health in incredible ways. This is the reality when we consider the skin's microbiome, which is a complex ecosystem with a vast array of microorganisms. Similar to those in our gut, our skin microbiome will perform a myriad of vital functions to the skin as well. And while some microbes are simply residents, others play an essential role in maintaining skin health by collaborating with the immune system and contributing to vital skin functions. And although some bacteria are seen as harmful, it is important to have a balance with the harmless beneficial bacteria. A balance of the two is required for effective skin immunity regulation, for barrier support to protect against harmful pathogens and to produce antimicrobial components. But also it's worth noting that certain microbes can even promote wound healing by reducing inflammation and supporting tissue regeneration. So really, essentially, it's all about a balance and a regulation between the two types of bacteria. A damaged skin barrier with microbiome dysbiosis can result in sensitive skin, a reactive skin, as well as skin flare-ups and conditions such as dermatitis, acne, or even rosacea. So to balance the skin's microbiome, we need to nourish the beneficial bacteria. And that's where prebiotics like inulin serve as a food source for the good bacteria, promoting their growth and their activity. And this enables those beneficial bacteria to outnumber the bad, inhibiting the growth of C. acnes, for example. Prebiotics will regulate and maintain a healthy pH of between 5.5, and really amplify the positive effect of postbiotics when used on the skin. Overall, prebiotics improve barrier health in different ways, as well as prebiotics. There's also probiotics and postbiotics. And we'll look at postbiotics on the next slide, but we'll just quickly touch on, or briefly mention, should I say, probiotics. And these are the beneficial live bacteria. Probiotics specifically target certain bacteria strains associated with a healthy skin, and potentially reinforcing the microbiome's balance. And they are often added to skincare products. However, in some cases, the live bacteria will be destroyed by much needed preservatives within the product, and can be rendered inactive. And for that reason, what we're going to be focusing on a little bit more today is the postbiotics. And postbiotics are the active molecules which are produced by the probiotic bacteria. So the postbiotics offer the advantages of probiotics, or the live bacteria, without actually containing the live bacteria itself. So the term postbiotics describes the active byproduct from lysates of the bacteria, rather than the live bacteria themselves. We can think of them like chopped up pieces of probiotic bacteria. Postbiotics are an incredible way of delivering the benefits of the live bacteria in a skincare product. They're directly derived from the live bacteria, but they're not destroyed in bacteria by bacteria killing preservatives in skincare jars and bottles. So this is a new term in science and has not been accepted fully in the research field. The research field with a scientifically accepted definition, but we can look at some in vivo data again, which speaks for itself, that when we look at this chart on the left-hand side, you can see it's looking at the number of tape strippings on the skin that are required to disturb the skin's barrier. So there are two bars on there. The white bar is the placebo or the control cream, and the gray bar represents the postbiotic bifidobacteria lysate over a period of excuse me, I'm so sorry, 57 days. So what we can see here is a significant improvement in the resilience of the skin as the stronger barrier. Can you see on that diagram there on the left-hand side, you've got the white bars, which is the placebo, and how the skin becomes less resilient over the period of time. But if you have a look at those gray bars there, you can see that the skin requires many more tape strippings in order for the barrier to be impaired. And that's the case really with our skin. We all have a threshold. Our skin can take so much as salt, whether that be environmental or anything that we might be doing topically to the skin, and it's going to hit that point where it will respond. It will respond with inflammation, and we will start to see a compromised barrier. And so what the use of postbiotics do is they actually increase the resilience of the skin. So the skin can tolerate a lot more before it starts to show those inflammatory symptoms on the skin. And the prebiotics and postbiotics work synergistically to promote a really diverse and resilient microbiome. And this will enhance immune response, reduce the inflammation, and ensure that the skin's protective barrier remains strong and effective, ultimately supporting overall skin health and wellness. So after clinical skin treatments such as chemical peels, microneedling, laser therapies, to name a few, the skin's barrier is often compromised. And ensuring proper barrier recovery is essential for optimal patient outcomes. A strong, well-functioning barrier will accelerate healing, prevent excessive moisture loss, and reduce the risk of post-treatment complications such as irritation, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, scarring, or infection. So by integrating ingredients like hyaluronic acids, ceramides, vitamin B12, your pre and postbiotics to support the microbiome, using these post-treatment can really help our clients or our patients recover more quickly. It can reduce discomfort quickly and can also enhance the results for those patients as well. So let's provide results from our clinical treatments along with exceptional home care with ingredient technology to give each and every customer an incredible post-treatment glow. As effective barrier recovery is truly the key to supporting both immediate and long-term skin health. So we hope that you've enjoyed the insight from the session today and have a better understanding of some of these incredible innovative ingredients that can really support the repair of the skin post-treatment. If I could take this opportunity to once again thank you for joining us today, and also ABIC for inviting me along. I do, as I say, hope it's been supportive, and if you have any questions, please reach out. But thank you, and yeah, have a super rest of your day.